Hello and welcome to another amazing video at Smart English Stories. My name is Amelia Harris. This is the only place where you will learn English and personal development of life skills. Thank you for spending your time with me. I hope you will learn something new today. Don't forget to like and subscribe our channel to get new updates. Today's topic is all about 7 habits of highly fluent speakers and how tiny routines can transform your voice into a powerful tool of expression. Fluency is not a gift. It's a habit. These words remind us that every expert speaker was once a beginner. Picture Alex, a talented graphic designer, standing before his dream job interviewer, only to freeze, lost for words at the critical moment. Have you ever felt that same knot in your throat, even when you knew exactly what you wanted to say? What if I told you that fluent speakers don't rely on luck or natural talent, but on daily, invisible practices? Imagine fitting small speaking drills into your commute, lunch break, or evening walk, each one nudging you closer to effortless conversation. In this journey, we'll unveil 7 real habits that fluent English speakers use without fail and show you exactly how to adopt them. So grab your favorite drink, get comfortable, and prepare to discover the secret routines behind confident, natural speech. Over the next sections, you'll meet inspiring people like Jordan the delivery driver, Emma the restaurant server, and Carlos the movie enthusiast, each embodying a habit you can copy. We'll delve into why speaking every single day matters more than marathon sessions, and how listening like a detective sharpens your understanding. You'll learn to imitate native rhythms, master useful chunks of language, and even make mistakes on purpose as stepping stones. By the end, you'll hold a clear roadmap to build these 7 habits into your daily life and speak with genuine confidence. Jordan, a 29-year-old delivery driver in Denver, used to dread every customer interaction on the phone. One slow afternoon, stuck at a red light, he decided to narrate his world out loud. "I see a blue sedan rolling past." At first it felt awkward, but within minutes he noticed smoother word choices and a steadier tone. That impromptu self-interview on 4 wheels became Jordan's secret lab for daily speaking practice. He calls it mirror talk, not literally in front of a mirror, but as if he's narrating to one. Jordan describes his next delivery, his playlist, even his lunch order, all in English. This habit trains his brain to think and speak simultaneously, shrinking that dreaded pause between thought and voice. By the end of each shift, he's clocked at least 10 minutes of continuous English, no script, just raw conversation. You can replicate Jordan's strategy anywhere, in subway cars, during kitchen cleanup, or on a quiet park bench. Start with simple observations, what you see, hear, or plan to do next, and speak them out loud in full sentences. As confidence grows, challenge yourself with longer descriptions. Summarize an article you read or retell a funny story. The goal isn't perfection. It's consistency, turning random moments into mini speaking sessions. Power tip: commit to the 10-minute daily speaking rule. Set a timer, pick a topic, your day, a movie, tomorrow's goals, and talk continuously for 10 solid minutes. Don't worry about mistakes, pauses, or filler words. That's all part of the process. Over time, you'll watch your fluency threshold expand as those breaks shrink and your ideas flow stronger. To boost self-awareness, record a few of your sessions on your phone. Playback reveals patterns, favorite filler words, grammar stumbles, or awkward pronunciation. Celebrate improvements and pinpoint areas for growth, but never judge yourself too harshly. Each recording is a snapshot of progress, a motivating proof that daily practice works. Jordan's daily habit eventually paid off. He aced a phone interview with a tech startup and landed a promotion. He often tells friends, "I didn't learn overnight. I learned every day." His routine wasn't glamorous, but it was real, simple, and woven into everyday life. That's the power of speaking every day, no excuses, no special settings, just you and your voice. Takeaway: it's not how much you speak, but how often you show up and use your English. Whether you're walking the dog, doing dishes, or waiting in line, turn idle time into practice time. By making speaking a non-negotiable daily habit, you'll transform hesitation into confidence, one sentence at a time. Emma, a 24-year-old waitress in Austin, discovered her fluency secret not by drilling grammar, but by eavesdropping legally, of course. During busy Friday nights, she paused between orders to tune into customer chatter. "Can I get the fajita special? Do you have gluten-free bread?" At first, she simply listened, absorbing word choices, sentence flow, and the natural pauses. Before long, her mind started replaying snippets, transforming passive hearing into active learning. She calls this detective listening. Armed with headphones and her favorite true crime podcast, Emma shadows along, mimicking hosts word for word. She jots down idioms like "hit the ground running" and notes how speakers emphasize key details. Her kitchen breaks became undercover practice sessions, headphones in, volume up, attention razor sharp. Emma's go-to strategy is the shadowing technique. Listen to a short clip, then immediately repeat it aloud, matching speed and intonation. She began with 10-second snippets from sitcom dialogues, then progressed to news segments and motivational talks. At first, her speech stumbled over unfamiliar phrases, but with each repeat, her tongue grew more agile, her accent more natural. Shadowing turned passive listening into a dynamic workout for her speaking muscles. Power tip: listen first, repeat next, speak after. Spend 70% of your practice time in listening mode, podcasts, interviews, or even YouTube vlogs with subtitles. Then allocate 20% to shadowing, mirroring every nuance you hear, pitch by pitch. Finally, devote 10% to free speaking, using the phrases and rhythms you've absorbed in real conversation. Emma didn't stop at podcasts. She started a listening journal, noting down 3 new expressions from every shift. Over time, she noticed patterns: when to use "by the way" to introduce additional info, or how rising intonation turns a statement into a question. Her colleagues were amazed at how effortlessly she navigated customer requests, seldom asking for clarifications. Best of all, her confidence soared. Emma no longer felt like a passive observer, but an active communicator. Takeaway: listening is silent practice, your mind's rehearsal before the spotlight. When you train your ears to detect nuances, you prime your brain to produce the same in your own speech. By shadowing native speakers and journaling new chunks, you'll bridge the gap between understanding and expression. Carlos, a 27-year-old aspiring actor from Chicago, found his breakthrough through imitation rather than memorization. Every evening, he'd pop in his favorite Will Smith movie, rewind to a key scene, and recite lines alongside him, matching tone, pace, and emotion. At first, his delivery sounded robotic, but as days passed, his voice began to capture Smith's natural swagger and warmth. Carlos discovered that copying native speakers is like unlocking a fluency vault hidden beneath the script. He calls this the echo effect. You don't just learn words, you absorb the music of the language. Carlos targeted monologues full of feeling, a father's pep talk, a hero's vow, and performed them in front of his bathroom mirror. He paid attention to rhythm, intonation, and the subtle shifts in volume that made each line persuasive. By living these moments, he carved native-like patterns into his muscle memory. Your imitation toolbox needs a single hero, one favorite speaker. Choose a TED Talk presenter, an actor, or even a friend whose style resonates with you. For 7 days straight, pick a short clip, no more than 30 seconds, and practice until you can perform it without looking. Notice how they pause before emphasizing an idea or how they drop their pitch to convey sincerity. Power tip: imitate for 7 days. Track your progress with quick video recordings, compare day 1 to day 7, and celebrate the shift. Don't worry if you sound dramatic. Over-the-top practice helps your brain internalize the patterns more effectively. Soon, you'll find yourself slipping into those rhythms naturally, even when speaking off the cuff. Carlos's imitation habit paid off when he auditioned for a local commercial. Directors praised his authentic delivery, noting it felt born, not learned. He realized his own voice had emerged, infused with confidence gleaned from months of echoing the best. That's the magic of imitation. It bridges the gap between copying and creating. Takeaway: imitation is the mother of fluency. By shadowing a single, inspiring speaker, you map their speech into your own voice. Lisa, a 26-year-old marketing analyst, spent months memorizing endless word lists with little improvement. Every morning, she'd recite vocabulary flashcards, but found herself stalling in real conversations. It wasn't until she overheard a colleague say, "Can I get that report by Friday?" that she understood the magic of phrases. That simple chunk stuck in her mind far longer than any isolated word ever did. She shifted her focus to learning in chunks, common phrases, and collocations she heard daily. Lisa created a personalized phrase bank, jotting down expressions like "on the same page," "give me a shout," and "run this by someone." During her commute, she reviewed these banks aloud, weaving them into sample sentences of her own. Slowly, whole phrases tumbled out effortlessly, bridging vocabulary gaps and boosting her confidence. Power tip: learn 5 new phrases each day and use at least 3 of them in conversation. Write them on sticky notes around your workspace or set reminders on your phone to prompt practice. Challenge yourself to create real-life scenarios where each chunk naturally fits, like emails or quick chats with friends. This focused approach shifts your brain from assembling words to deploying ready-made tools. Daniel, a 30-year-old startup founder in Seattle, once delivered a pitch riddled with stumbles and mispronunciations. By the end, he tallied over 50 verbal slips and expected the worst. To his surprise, his speaking coach declared it his best performance yet, applauding his willingness to dive in. That day, Daniel realized that mistakes weren't roadblocks, but stepping stones on the path to fluency. He began deliberately planting small errors in his practice talks, intentionally mixing up tenses or inserting odd word choices. By spotting and correcting them mid-sentence, he sharpened his self-awareness and resilience. His tongue learned to dance through corrections, building agility rather than avoiding pitfalls. Soon, unplanned mistakes felt less like failures and more like essential drills. Power tip: keep a mistake journal each evening. Write down one funny or surprising error you made in English. Include what you intended to say, the mistake itself, and the correct version. Review entries weekly to laugh at how far you've come and to reinforce genuine learning. This simple habit turns every slip-up into a memorable lesson. Takeaway: mistakes are proof you are trying and learning. When you embrace errors on purpose, you remove fear from your speech. Your brain learns faster by correcting itself than by avoiding challenges. So speak boldly, err often, and watch your confidence and fluency soar. Mia, a 23-year-old journalism student in Portland, used to rehearse alone in her apartment, but felt her speech lacked spark. One day, she mustered courage and joined a local book club that discussed short stories in English. Initially, her voice trembled as she shared opinions, but each meeting chipped away at her anxiety. By week 3, Mia found herself debating themes and asking questions without a second thought. She calls these sessions her real-world labs. Beyond scripted exercises, she confronted unpredictable responses, varied accents, and spontaneous topics. Every nod, laugh, or puzzled look from fellow members guided her to adjust tone, pace, and word choice in real time. In these authentic interactions, her fluency became flexible and responsive, not just rehearsed. Your strategy: seek out language exchanges, conversation meetups, or online video chats. Pair up with native speakers or fellow learners and set a fun theme: travel stories, favorite films, or cultural traditions. Aim for at least one new conversation every week, treating each as both practice and discovery. Real people bring real challenges and real breakthroughs to your speaking journey. Power tip: one new person, one new topic. Every week, reach out to someone you haven't spoken to before and discuss a fresh subject. Record a quick note afterward. What surprised you? Which expressions felt natural? These debriefs turn each chat into a lesson plan, accelerating your growth through genuine connection. Takeaway: fluency grows in real conversations, not in isolation. When you engage with diverse voices, you learn to adapt instantly and build authentic rapport. These real-world exchanges transform your practice from artificial drills into living dialogues. Ramesh, a 28-year-old software engineer in San Francisco, moved stateside 2 years ago but never eased off his English routine. Each morning before work, he'd brew coffee and watch a 5-minute YouTube lesson on phrasal verbs or idioms. By evening, he'd listen to a business podcast during his jog, noting fresh expressions in his one new thing notebook. This steady diet of learning kept his curiosity alive and his vocabulary ever expanding. He views English as a lifelong companion, not a temporary challenge to conquer. When colleagues casually drop slang or emerging buzzwords, Ramesh pauses to ask, "What's that phrase mean?" He then hunts for real-world examples, tweets, articles, or video clips, so the new term sticks in context. His motto, "If I learned it today, I'll use it tomorrow." Power tip: adopt the one new thing rule. Discover and practice at least one fresh English element every day. It could be a word, a pronunciation tip, a cultural reference, or a sentence pattern. Jot it down, speak it aloud, and weave it into conversations or social media posts before bedtime. This tiny habit compounds into huge gains over weeks and months. Takeaway: fluent speakers never stop learning because language itself keeps evolving. By staying curious and disciplined, you'll ride every new wave of expressions with ease. Your journey doesn't end at fluency. It unlocks endless new levels of mastery and connection. Embrace the adventure and make learning your daily celebration. We've walked through the 7 habits that turn hesitant learners into confident, fluent speakers. Speak every day, no matter what. Listen like a detective. Imitate, not just learn. Learn in chunks, not words. Make mistakes on purpose. Practice with real people. Never stop learning. Don't wait for the perfect moment to start speaking. Build fluency one habit at a time, weaving these practices into your daily life, your commute, your coffee breaks, your weekend plans. Remember, every small action compounds. 10 minutes of mirror talk today, one podcast shadow tomorrow, a fresh phrase notebook the next. Before long, you'll surprise yourself with how effortlessly English flows. Speak not just to impress, speak to express your true self. Which one of these habits will you start today? Drop a comment below with your chosen habit, and let's cheer each other on. Your fluent life begins now, habit by habit, day by day.